Now I'm working on the Flume, and I have these 2x6s that I'm going to glue on this piece of plywood that I cut to 13.5 inches. And I'm also going to screw it down with this lithium drill that I repaired and exterior grade screws. I got the cheapest caulking gun here and it doesn't have anything to poke out the inside of that. Did that do it? Yes, it did. Shit. I mean, darn. Shucks. I'm firmly in the camp that it's best to spread things. I used to be in the camp that you could just dollop it on and then let the pressure of whatever you're putting on spread it out, but I read some studies that that's not the best way to do it. That it's best to smear it out and any air bubbles are insignificant, or generally don't form at all. Basically, so if use. Too far. I'm getting the corner lined up. We'll go every 5 inches. Because this is plywood and, well, pressure treated plywood and pressure treated 2x6s, they're going to want to go all over the place as they dry or remain wet or whatever they do in the creek. So the best thing to do would be to box it in, to put another top on it. But if there's anything that gets jammed in here, you can't service it, and that adds a lot of weight and uses a lot of material. So I'm going to cut up 3 or 4 cross spacers that'll keep the width, but that won't help it resist twisting if they're really narrow, if they're like this narrow. But if I make them wider, that'll give it some racking resistance, but also add a little bit of weight. So I was going to make it wider and then neck in to maybe a 3-inch wide strip and then neck out again to a wide area. And that 3-inch strip should give me something that's good to grab onto also. So that'll make an end connector. This is going to be one of the braces that goes on either end. So these will like match up together. And I have 4 of these cut because I'm going to do 2 flumes for now. I might need to make more, but we'll see how much head that gets us. And then I also have 4 intermediate spacers, 2 for each flume. So I'm going to space those in the middle. I guess I would make it into thirds. No, I'm no Jimmy DiResta, but that's pretty good. The way I designed this, I can trace on one side, flip it over, trace on the other side, get a symmetrical trace. I have 3 more of these to trace out, and here's the other 3 ends and the template. So the joining pieces on the ends will have 2 3-inch pieces that join together to make a 6-inch join. Back to the bandsaw. Still the same charge on the drill. I haven't charged it at all. It's about a month later, and it's still winter, and I'm working on the flumes that I have for the dam. So I guess just watch me work. I gotta jack this end up probably another inch or 2 so that it's more, level. Right now it's sloping down and I'm losing some head there. And I have my other flume that's in the basement. I'll grab that and install it too, which should bring the flume out to about here. At this point in the video, I was pretty much just playing around in the creek. Just, trying to figure out how things will work out. Developing a plan in my mind so that in the future I can better plan what I'm going to build.
Well, Toby, come back. Puppies, come here, bud. Come on. Got the other flume in place, sort of roughly, but I'm getting a lot of leak through at the gap between the two, right there. So I got to build a collar to go around that, and then I only really need one cross brace there. And the reason I built these out of 2x6s is they can span the full 8 feet without sagging or drooping. And this flume's been in place for 2 weeks maybe. I just have a bunch of stuff jammed up beside it on the keyhole slot of the dam. You know, another thing that I'm thinking about here is some way to divert the water without having to drain the pond. So maybe a trap door in the flume that I'm going to put above this one. Well, I'm just thinking about this now. I might have to put another short flume with a trap door that I'm going to build separately to dump all the water. Yep. Or maybe it'll be a full-length flume because I think I'm going to need more flumes to get enough head to run the water wheel. I test fit the flume in the dam boards, and unfortunately the flume is like an 1/8 inch too wide, so I'm just going to sand it down with a belt sander. I just drug it down there and test fit it. That was taking a little bit of time. Well, it was taking too much time on the belt sander. So I thought I'd use something a little bit faster. I forget what some people call it. I call it the Polish plane. I think it was like the Swedish plane or something. But what I'm going to do is set this guy to take a skim cut. Let's do it somewhere flat. Over here is fine. Something like there. Earmuffs. And then I'll clean it up with a belt sander. Alright, now the other side. Right, so it's a few months later. I have to do a trapdoor and key the first flume, which is behind me, you see. And I have material for the trapdoor there. I guess we'll do it, huh? So I've got it traced out, 7 inches back from the face of the dam. This would be the downstream side of the dam. So the water will flow over the flume here, drop through the trapdoor if I don't want water going over the wheel. And the water will land in the pile of rocks that I already have in place instead of having the trapdoor further away from the dam. And I forgot my saber saw at work, so I have to cut this out by hand, which I've done before. I've done plunge cuts by hand. It's not that easy, but not hard either. So this is the door that's going to go in the hole, and I'm going to cut a flange around the perimeter with like a 1/2 inch lip, so the door will rest on the lip, and that'll be glued and screwed in. So here's my saw, razor saw by Quacucho, I don't know. Ah, crap. Just ruined that blade. Here she is. But I anticipated this. I actually have like replacements in the basement. It's like $12 a blade. So that's the trapdoor, which will sit right in here. How's that for a press fit? That's a saw curve press fit. So I got that. Now I got to do the flange at the bottom. Looks like my press fit is worn out. And I have a stainless steel hinge that I'm going to put in here, but I need to cut it down to whatever this width is. So I'll do that in a little bit. I'll do my flange here at the bottom next. Now this doesn't have to be as exact, but it should be darn close. I'm going to be able to use the skill saw to cut out the square on the next one here. So let's get it to width, which is 13.5.
No, I'm telling you, even people who work with wood love dogs.
They do, yes. But this video isn't about dogs.
Give me a cue. Like if you were to put your hand up and go like this in a moment, I could throw a peanut in such a way that it would result in dogs jumping over your food. If you wanted me to. You know what's more than people loving dogs?
What's that?
They love men who love dogs.
Yes.
Like, if you were just my friend and not my husband, I could be all
Oh, that's stupid.
tips.
This is less stupid.
Messy.
No, it should be an inch all the way around. Let's do them over here so that I don't accidentally cut into my flume, huh? Yeah, that's smart. That's thinking with your noggin. Oh crap, I did that wrong. Because once I cut this out, there's no supporting flange on the side. Let's do it again. So what I'm going to do here is, that's going to be mounted there with a hinge, and that guy's going to be right there. Yep. Looks good to me. And to line up the screws, I'm just going to eyeball it. Something like that. Right there. One there. I'm going to put in 2 screws now just to line it up. This drill, USB charging, go check out my video on that. good to me. Now I'm gonna go cut the hinge at about right here, and I'll be right back. So operationally, you want to use the water wheel. The trapdoor's like that. You don't want to use the water wheel. Trapdoor's like that. Perfect. Right, so now I have to do the key. I just gotta cut it out 1.5 inches wide. And I need like 25 inches will do it. I jab myself with the saw, so now I gotta cut there. And I jab myself with the screw, so I gotta cut there. Man, today's not going great. Yeah, so I think I made a mistake when cutting out that trap door, and that is that I want to seal the front face of the flume in this slot here. So my trap door is going to be extended out a little bit further than I had expected, but that's all right. Now I can't really work on this with water flowing through, so I'm going to open the dump here, which is pretty easy. There's a piece of foam on the end of the pipe. I just got to push it off. See, there that goes, and then there's all the water. And there's my plug. So I've got this lined up approximately where I want it. And I got it fairly level because that will affect what I do with these blocks a little bit. And maybe alignment is important too. I want it to point about there. Maybe a little further. Now my foot here is in the drain right now, and at first it was really cold, and now it's warmer because today was like 90 degrees, and it smells like a combination of sewage, pond scum, and cow manure. If you can imagine that, mostly cow manure, which is odd because there's no cows upstream of here that I know of. We're going to do this more smartly this time. That guy's going to go there. Just going to get glued and screwed in place. One screw, two screw, three screw. I guess I can do this because I was pretty careful with the dam board slots. I'm here beside the creek, but you don't hear it running because I put the stopper back on. And I gotta be more careful. I just keep hurting myself. No blood that time. Looks like I forget to hit record, but I got all the keyway slot or keyway boards on. I got brackets for joining 4 of them together. There's my trap door. So that's 3 sections, and then the 4th one I just left over there. Looks pretty good. Don't know if I'm thoroughly happy with it, but it'll work for now.